Good morning, everyone. It's Javier, and it is July 4th, 2020. It is my birthday today, and I wanted to do a solo episode as far as who I am and why it is I do the things I do, and why I invested into this podcasting equipment. Um, First and foremost, I want to give my prayers out to all the COVID patients I know and everyone in the world fighting for their life for this virus that's going on. I know God is the only one in control, so I know all of you will be healed in time, and just keep the faith alive. Um, I know, I know a couple of people myself personally who have it, and they're fighting it. They're warriors. This is what everybody else, I think everyone is a warrior out there fighting for for you know trying to get by, and I think they will. I think they will. I wanted to start off with growing up. As far as I remember when I was like 6 years old. When I was a little kid, I used to fall down all the time. I used to trip on a lot of things, which I still do here and there. But back then it was worse because I hadn't yet been operated on my legs. I remember I remember as far as maybe 6 years old, um, I used to wake up at night and I would have seizures. My eyes would roll back. I could see, but everything was blurry. And I really couldn't, I couldn't talk. I just remember shaking, but I could stand up, I could walk, but I don't know, it was weird. It was weird. I don't remember how many years that lasted, but it used to happen to me all the time. I think it was around whenever I used to eat a lot. And it was like, I don't know, I used to just wake up and just, people like my sisters would see me, they would get scared. My brother, he saw me once, he got scared. And I don't remember how it used to go away. But I just remember having it. It was crazy. Really crazy. I don't know how many years it lasted. I don't even remember. I don't think I ever got any prescriptions or anything for it. I never really took anything. But it went away. It went away. Thank God, because it was crazy. But I'm glad that it went away, because I don't really know if people die off of seizures, but I want to say I had it no more than like, I'm just guessing, out there maybe 12 years old, no more than that. I don't know. It was crazy. It was crazy. A lot of people don't know that. Only my family, close family members. But after a while, it just went away, and I never had it again. And I thank God that it don't come back no more. You know. But yeah, that's part of what that I used to. I used to have that when I was a kid. First of all, I want to thank God that I don't have that anymore. So, well, when I was growing up, I remember my dad took me to Mexico, Monterrey. Um, I remember. I don't remember the surgery because I think they sedated me. Of course, they put me to sleep. Thank God, ain't nobody trying to feel the pain. Um, they operated me because I used to fall down. I used to hit my head on concrete. I used to hit my head, not like on purpose, but I used to fall down backwards all the time, so I was real. What do you call it? I was easily tripped over little things, and I used to hit my head everywhere. And I thank God that I'm still capable of knowing, because when you damage your brain a lot, you can have serious things that could happen to the way you think or the way you are, and thank God that I never came out that way. Um, but yeah, I used to fall down all the time, hit my head. I even have scars on my head, um, due to those things. But I remember getting operated. Well, not remember, but I remember after it happened, I was wearing cast on both of my legs, and I had to walk. I had to learn how to walk all over again. And maybe I was like 10. Maybe I was even younger than that. My dad built me like a rail, two rails, one on the left hand, one on the right hand, and I used to just walk back and forth like I was a baby. And I remember the first movie I watched getting out the hospital was The Land Before Time, that dinosaur movie. It's still one of my favorite movies growing up, because you think about the first thing as a kid that you enjoyed, and for me it was that movie. Also, my dad bought me a violin. The violins are them. What do you call it? They call it a music box. Just something that plays music while you twist a little lever, whatever you want to call that. Anyway, I had that, but I had a violin, and he bought me it. And the theme song that came out from that was a song called "Love Story Theme" by Beethoven. I'm sure a lot of you people know what I'm talking about as far as classical music goes. But yeah, I had that, and I still love that song. I love classical music. I think that's probably the first song that I can recall that made me enjoy classical music. Not a lot of people like that, but due to the fact that I actually like to draw. I love drawing in general. So when I draw, I used to always play classical music because it relaxes your mind. Um, it was really one of the best things in my life. What I don't have it anymore. I wish I did, but that was my fondest memory growing up, man. Just having that violin, just remembering, like, it just gave me a sense of hope. That violin did. That song by itself gave me a sense of hope, because when you're little and you're looking at your legs, you think that, I mean, who knows, man? I could have been on a wheelchair. I could have been, you know, I don't know, but I didn't want to think about that. But anyway, my dad had put me in the special ed classes with other mentally challenged kids were, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was afraid, because I always thought that I would get hurt in there. Um, but not, but I didn't get hurt. What I mean by getting hurt, like, I don't know, I just didn't, think I'd belong in there, because it's not like I was mentally challenged. I was just physically challenged, I guess you can say. I mean, to all the people that don't know me in general, I have a condition called cerebral palsy. Basically, it has to do with the brain. Um, but when I read up on it, it wasn't really an impediment, a life impediment. It was more like a physically challenged, like not able to lift not able to lift heavy things, but I'm capable of walking. I'm capable of running. I don't exercise much, so it tends to make me tired, But that's nothing out of the norm for anybody that don't exercise. Of course, you're gonna get tired a lot faster versus the people who do exercise. They get to last a little bit longer. But with that said, I mean, I never wanted to look at myself in the mirror and say I couldn't do this because I mean I'm capable of walking, and if you have capability of that and you have a brain to think for yourself, um, there should be no impediment. So I remember my sister told me a long time ago, I'm not gonna let you have a car because you won't be able to do it. I even remember going to where you go to Metrolift and take an ID picture for yourself and they drop you off here and there. I once told a man, if I would ever get on Metrolift, I'd tell the driver to drop me off a block or two away so I can just walk so people won't see what kind of car I have or anything. That way they don't see that I'm coming out of a Metrolift. But anyway, back to growing up. I was in them classes where I used to see kids who were mentally challenged. Some kids had no legs. Some kids were on walkers, prosthetic legs. I mean, just different things. And I was afraid. But I remember I came home one day from school and I told my dad, hey, I don't want to be in there no more. And he didn't want to take me out because he said, what if kids drop you or make fun of you whenever you go to your regular classes, People are going to start laughing at you and bullying you and this and that. I said, I don't care, I don't care because I'd rather, earn my way out of high school or out of school in general by going to regular classes. And if I get bullied, I was just thinking to myself, if I get bullied or anything like that, I'll deal with it, But this was back in the 80s. I don't remember people ever laughing at me or making fun of me. I mean, how can I remember? I'm in my late 30s now, but I wouldn't be able to know. But outside of that, I made a lot of friends, and in school in general, I made a lot of friends in elementary. I made a lot of friends in middle school, and I made a lot of friends in high school. But in elementary, I remember writing an essay. I wrote an essay. I don't remember what it was about, but I remember the History Chronicle guy came down, and I wrote one of the best essays out there, I'm sure. And I'm not the only kid who got a front page picture of writing an essay, but I was one of those. And I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. I wish I still did, because I wanted to keep it forever. I mean, for as long as I'm alive. But I don't know what happened to it. It got lost somewhere, but we had a copy. I don't know if we can actually go back and get a picture of that was taken from you from the History Chronicle, I don't know. Maybe I need to research that. But anyway, I think my fondest moment out of elementary was going to Camp Olympia. I don't know if any of you ever went there, but it was like a week-long trip to Camp Olympia somewhere in Texas, a couple hours from here, I think. I don't remember where exactly. I gotta look it up, but it was fun. It was fun. They separated the boys with the girls in different areas, I think, and then I don't remember. It was something like that, but it was fun. That was one of my fondest moments in life. I'll never forget it. I wish we had smartphones ever since we were little. That way we can keep video or things like that. But unfortunately, there was no such thing as smartphone back in the 80s or maybe early 90s. But anyway, yeah, that was me in elementary. I My dad did put me in regular classes. I think I want to say after first grade. I think second grade was when I last remember being in regular classes, and I used to fall down here and there. I used to have a walker. I had it temporarily just to help me walk after the surgery. Um, but I was thankful that I was able to, um, get into regular classes and just, do my own thing. Do my own thing. Be away from all the things that could have been wheelchair, walker, whatever you have, whatever they offer to people like that. But yeah, I'm thankful. Uh, when I when I was about to leave my fifth grade year, my brother had passed away, and therefore that's why I made a dedication video to him on my YouTube. By the way, this YouTube channel is very old. It is at least 12 years old, and I wanted to give a revivement to this channel by making this my very first recording as far as what I'm doing now. So that's why it's I'm trying to give it a revive. So anyway, the video I did, if you guys can see on my channel, you can pick at it, and it's only about a 2.5 minute video, but it's about my brother. He grew up being the thug that he chose to live, the kind of life he did. Um, I don't really want to go too much into that, but that's a little bit of the backstory. Is he didn't. I wish he was still alive now, but unfortunately, he chose the path that he did. I still here and there I do have dreams of him, but yeah, not that many. I don't really have that many dreams. He passed away in '94, but I've had a lot of family members, or I should say, close family members that I remember that have passed away in my life. So my brother was the first one. That was back in '94, and that was right before I got out of fifth grade. By the way, when I was in elementary, I loved going to school. I loved having perfect attendance and always going because it was fun. It was easy. It was easy, and I was just very happy to be in a regular class versus the other one. But yeah, he passed away, and before he did though, he told me, "Hey, Javi, don't go to Marshall Middle School, which is the north side of Houston, over there, close to between Fifth Ward and the Heights." He told me, "Yeah, don't go there because they're gonna jump you, and they might even kill you because." For those that don't know, there was a lot of fights back then. There was a lot of gangs back then. It was like the popular thing, and he told me, "Hey, don't go there because you might get jumped." I mean, I was only there 6th, 7th, and 8th grade as middle school is, and I never got jumped, but I remember people were two-faced all the time because I was a little kid coming out of elementary, thinking that 6th grade was gonna be a little bit similar, but it was nothing. I looked like a little baby next to a thugged out school, man. It was very thugged out, man. I knew people who were gangsters. I mean, I had friends who were gangsters opposite of what my brother claimed. And by this time, my brother had already passed away. So when I got there, people recognized my last name because my brother was real popular in the gang life. And I remember, I just remember them saying that this is Juan Melendez's brother. Um, you know, whenever they said that, I was afraid because I thought that I was gonna be a target. I thought I was gonna be a target. I thought, I don't know. Honestly, I was in fear of my life because I never knew. I never knew what kind of what kind of what kind of school year I was gonna have throughout those 3 years. But I never got jumped. I had friends, like I said, who were opposite gangs of what my brother was, and when they realized, I remember a couple people as well. They go, "Well, hey, that was your brother?" I go, "Yeah," and they go, "Man, fuck your brother, this and that." Excuse the language, by the way. I don't really cuss that much, but here and there. But yeah, they go, "Man, F your brother," and this and that. Uh, so I was like, it's all good, man. I'd rather not deal with people like that. But anyway, I made it out of middle school, thankfully, and obviously, I think I didn't really have no best years in middle school because it was too hood for me, too ghetto, a lot of fighting and a lot of gangsters back then. Thankfully, I want to say thankfully around high school years, kind of like late 90s, a little bit, here and there you'll have wannabe gangsters, but when I got to high school, man, I wanted to quit. I wanted to drop out because I think it just seemed harder. Um, you had to earn your credits, and that to me, uh, I didn't really like it. I just missed the way it was in elementary and how easy it was, and middle school. Easy. But skipping high school, I don't really want to get into all that. And there's nothing big that happened. But graduated in '01, and I didn't only took like a 3 month break, and then I went to the art institute because when I first started drawing, I remember watching my brother. He did love to draw, and one day I popped up in the room whenever he was drawing, and I told him I want to be like that. I want to be like you, as good as you are. And he just told me, grab a pencil, grab some paper, and just let your mind take over. And I did that ever since I was in elementary. I used to draw cartoons and sell them for quarter, 50 cents to go to lunch and buy stuff. But I never lost the passion for drawing. And, I still do. But yeah, my brother was the reason why I started drawing, why I started loving the art itself. And yeah, that was, I kept it going in high school. I don't draw too much now, but I mean, by the way, I also love the piano. When I said about the violin in the beginning, I always enjoyed playing the piano. Um, as a kid, I have two older nieces who I'm trying to I'm trying to teach Photoshop because I was self-taught the Photoshop. My best friend who my best friend Mario who got me the program. I just loved playing with it, messing around with it, and I love, man. Photoshop is really it could really do a lot for you. You don't even have to be an artist to be able to sell art or your designs. You can just use font. You can use regular pictures, turn them into silhouettes and stuff like that. But when I went into the Art Institute, I went for 1 year graphic design, and I let myself down because as young as I was, I didn't commit myself to what could have been after graduation. But think of it now, I I think I stuck to the the art of doing graphic design, basically making logos and doing that. I've been doing that for people lately here and there. I am gonna make a business card and put myself out there and see what comes out of it. But I do like drawing. I wish I could show the audience some of the pictures. Maybe I'll upload it later and edit the video. But for now, I'll just let you guys know that I've been doing designing since I was a kid. Maybe elementary. I want to say fourth grade. Um, so that would be around 9 years old, somewhere around there. Um, but yeah, I have two nieces who I want to teach Photoshop. But I did do graphic design at the Art Institute. I only did it for 1 year, and I dropped out. The only classes that I liked were obviously drawing. Anything outside of that, I was just forget that, man. I'm not gonna do that because I don't like math. I like writing, but in my head, I was like immature, and I thought, what does drawing have to do with graphic design? I mean, what does math and all that have to do with graphic design? So I gave up. I'm not gonna lie, I gave up, and I dropped out after a year, and that was my fault. I should have thought about it before. But by the way, during all these years, I want to say starting from middle school and up, I used to receive Social Security disability. Um, so I was a bum. I was a bum, meaning I didn't really want to work. Um, and then I had just dropped out of high school. No, not high school. I'm sorry. Dropped out of college. I didn't want to go to school, and I was just playing the Nintendo at home and just being a bum. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a bum up until at least 23, and I used to receive Social Security, like I said. Or maybe I was receiving about $1,000 a month. And when you're a bum and you don't want to do nothing, and you don't have a car, $1,000 at the time was good for me. It was good. I'm not gonna lie, because I was a bum. But I have an older sister, and she told me, "Hey, Javi, you should go get you a job, man. You need to stop being lazy and go get you a job." Um, and it took me a while, but I did. But before I even get into my first job, I also wanted to let you guys know that I've never been a morning person. Um, I hated waking up early. Um, and up until this day, I've never been a morning person. I've always enjoyed working the night shift. So that's what I still do now. When I graduated high school, by the way, I had applied for academy. I don't even remember applying, but they called me one day when my family was around me, and they said, "Yeah, I'm looking for Mr. Melendez." I go, "Yeah, this is me." He said, Yeah, congratulations. I'm calling you from Academy. We have a job for you. You can start at Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30 p.m. No paid holidays. No weekends. And what do you think about that? And I'll go. Mind you, I'm doing this in front of my family who are very proud of me. All I had to say was yes, and that's it. Go from there. But I said, I'm not really a morning person. So you have anything more late, like 3 to 12 midnight? They go, no, I'm sorry, sir. We close at 9 p.m. I'm like, oh my God. Then, no, I'm good. Let me know when you have something more late. And he goes, okay, that's it. Sorry we couldn't help you. Click. And my sisters, everybody looked at me like, what the hell did you do, man? Like, they could have just slapped me in the face and this and that. But I was a bum and I didn't want to work and I was receiving disability. So I was comfortable. That's the key word, comfortable. And a lot of us are here and there, and we should not be. Don't let being comfortable be it for you. Always push for greater things in life, because if you never try, then you'll never know how far you can go, and you always want to push yourself. So anyway, when she told me to take an interview, it was for a call center where you just take calls, and I agreed. I agreed. We all interviewed at the same time, actually. Not at the same time, but the same day. And my sister, who has experience, and me, who had no resume or nothing to prove my worth to a job. I took the interview, and I was shaking, and I was nervous, and I was like, maybe I'm not gonna get it. Maybe this and that. But I had no resume. I had nothing to prove my worth, and they gave me a shot. They gave me a shot. I didn't have no car, so I was always riding with my sister to work. And when I got the job, I told myself, if I'm not gonna take Metro Lift or anything outside of that, because I hated relying on my sister or anyone in general to pick me up and take me here and take me there. Because when you have your own ride, you can go on your time and do whatever you want to do, in your own right. That's basically it. And I did that. I As much as I hated waking up early, I told myself I need to learn how to drive. I was 23, by the way, my first real job. I said I gotta do this. I gotta do this. So I would get up at 5 in the morning, go to the DPS, and practice. Go take the driving test. But before I did that, I had to learn how to drive. So what I did was I bought a car finance and I took it out to the streets. Once I got comfortable in the streets, I took it on the freeway. Um, it wasn't really a big deal. It wasn't really not a big deal, but it wasn't really that bad, for a first time driver. I mean, 23, that's kind of embarrassing, but this is me being transparent with you guys. I was 23, and I was basically learning baby steps as far as driving and working, And so anyway, when I started driving this little car, I had a 1990 Acura Legend. For those of you who know what cars are or look like, that was my first car, and it was like I looked at it like a big go kart with mirrors. That's it. That's how I made it in my mind that that's how easy it was to drive a car, basically driving a go kart. But I ended up paying for it. I was paying monthly payments because it was financed, and I paid it with my social security money that I was getting. So but man, I'll tell you right now, man, when I got this job and I felt the the feeling. I seen the income coming in every 2 weeks compared to $1,000 by doing nothing. I don't think there was anything that could stop or make me think that being a bum was worth. I think it was a waste of time being a bum and waiting this long to learn how to drive, to you know what I mean, all of that. But my point is that I didn't let people tell me that I couldn't do it. If I mean, I would love for people to continue to tell me, because now I can prove them wrong. You know, that's exactly what you want to do. When people always talk mess or say this and that, you stay away from all of that. I know I do, and I rather deal with people who are gonna lift you. And for me personally, I think I had waited too long, but I was excited that I had my own car and I had a job, and I did customer service for 3 years. Uh, After my third year, I got up during my break and I was like, we're doing too much of a workload, because it was always, thank you for calling, thank you for calling. Like every 5 minutes, it's nonstop, back to back calls. And um, it was easy work, but it was like repetitive. It was boring, and I wanted more money. By that time, I was already 3 years, and I was more hungry for more money than just, I'm not gonna lie, I was at $11 an hour. This is in 2008. And, I just got up without securing a job during my break. And, I just told my boss I'm done. She goes, what do you mean you're done? It's barely your first break. I said, yeah, but I'm not feeling it no more. So I just got up and left. This is without securing a job, by the way. I didn't even have nothing back to lean on. I wasn't getting no SSI anymore, no disability money. So I just got up and left, and I left my headphones there because I didn't own them. It was theirs. But anyway, so I reached out to a friend, and she was working at another call center, and she told me, yeah, you should come over here. Answer phones, doing the same thing. All you got to do is answer phones. But this time, this call center that she was in was related to medical, in the medical field, basically answering phones for patients versus customers. When you well, what I was doing answering phone was cell phone insurance. My first job, I was roadside assistance and cell phone insurance right after that. So it was like customers calling you, asking you, that they have insurance on their phone, and they either misplaced the phone or the phone broke or this and that. So it was my job to send them a replacement. And anyway, that was my first real job there. And when I quit, my friend told me, yeah, I'm at a medical call center over here. All you do is take calls for patients who wear heart monitors. They have heart problems or whatever. And I said, do I have to go to school for that? Because mind you, I don't like going to school, period. So, and I hated waking up early. I know that there's night school now, but there was even night school then. But I didn't want to go to school, period. I would rather now that I had the experience of making money on my own, I wanted to go that route. So what I did was, I said, okay, well, I applied. 3 weeks later, no job, by the way, and no disability money anymore. I was I was at home for 3 weeks, and then they called me and they offered me the job, mind you, at $10 an hour. Um, so I said, let's just start. We gotta, wherever we're at, we gotta start somewhere. We can't just expect to just do on pop, but also prove your worth. But prove your worth because you should never get comfortable and let people tell you that you're worth this much when you know you're worth more than just that. So anyway, I agreed to $10 an hour, and I know I was below. Like I said, I was making 11 over there, but I was like, okay, I'll just start somewhere and then work my way up. I did that. I did answering phones more there 4 years. After 4 years, I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up on answering phones because after so long, you just get tired of the same stuff. I know I do, and I wasn't gonna let change um, be an impediment. Never let change be an impediment. Never be afraid of change in general. It could do so much more for you. Don't be afraid to take the chance. So that's another thing that I wanted to give to you guys. I mean, this is just common sense, but some people are still comfortable, believe it or not, and they think that this might be it. But never, always. I think you should always show your talents, show your worth. Don't let nobody, tell you that you can't do it. So anyway, back to the story. I did answering phones for 4 years, and in that same job, they have techs who read heart rhythms and interpret heart rhythms. Basically, long story short, as far as the rhythms go, when I was answering phones there for 4 years, I was looking at these rhythms, but I didn't know what they were called. But during the time that I was answering phones, what I was doing, I was learning how to read them through Google. So what happened was, after the 4th year of being there, I told my boss I would like to take a test or become an EKG tech. EKG, which is heart rhythms, basically. Um, I want to take a test and become an EKG tech versus just answering phones because I'm done. I'm just tired of answering phones altogether. And she told me to go to school. She told me to take a course online or at school, and then take it, and then come back, and then take the test and see if I pass. So I said okay. I went home. I actually just got on Google and just researched other lethal rhythms. I just self-taught myself this, and it took me 3 days of studying by myself. No school involved, nothing like that. Anyway, after 3 days, I came back and I told her I'm ready for the test. And she goes, "You didn't even take the class, did you?" I said, "No, I'm not gonna lie to you, but what do I have to lose? I mean, what do you have to lose to give me the test?" So I told her to give me the test, and I took it, and I took it with like 5 other people, I think. I don't remember, but anyway, I was nervous because it was at least 50, between 50 and 100. I don't even remember, man. It was a lot, but it was a lot of, you had to name the rhythm. It wasn't multiple choice. You had to literally know what the rhythm is. And when she called me to the office to get my grade, and trust me, I was nervous. I was nervous because if I failed this, there wasn't no there was no other way but just either stay on the phones or give up and go another route. But I took the chance, and she said, "Congratulations, you made a 95." My heart skipped a beat, man. I was just like, wow, I can't believe it, But it was EKG, it was basic. I mean, some people don't really know how to read heart rhythm. A lot of people don't, but that's not the specialty. But in general, to all the people that I worked with during the EKG, I really want to thank that job, because it was like to me, I took it like learning on the job. There's nothing better than that. Learning on the job, meaning that you can go. I could have gone another route had I failed this test. I could have given up. Who knows what would have been of me? I would have just been simply taking calls for another X amount of years and didn't know where to end up. But my point is I took the chance, and that's what everybody needs to do. Never be afraid of change again. Made a 9 to 5, and I did EKG there for 3 years, and then I quit because I applied at the hospital, and that's where I'm at now. By the way, I was doing night shift over there, and they had given me a good raise. The jump from becoming just a phone person, the person answering the phones, to being EKG, they gave me like a $3 raise because I got first of all, after a few years, I did get a raise from answering phones, which was a $3 raise. Thank you, Heidi. I don't know where she's at now, but it was because of her. She had gotten married and quit, so she gave me that, and then I got another $3 raise for becoming a tech certified, and I got my certification during the 3 years that I was there, and I quit to apply at the hospital. Well, obviously, I applied and then got the okay to take an interview, and then that's when I gave my 2-week notice. So then that's when I ended up being at the hospital. So basically, I didn't go to school for being in the hospital. A lot of people, they have to go to school, or rather, I recommend people go to school versus just learning on the job. There's not a lot of on the job learning. I think there is, but I mean, I think sometimes you just get lucky. But yeah, I do work for Memorial Hermann, and I enjoy it. I enjoy helping people, and coming to work. We only work 3 to 4 days a week, so I still got time off for myself. I don't have any kids, so it helps out working night shift, and I've never been a morning person. I don't know if I don't think I'll ever be a morning worker. I don't think I could continue to wake up early for when I can be asleep, and But anyway, I ended up at the hospital, and I've been there almost going on 5 years. Next month will be, and I enjoy it. I still do graphic design. I still do logos for people. As you can see, my YouTube channel has a few other things that I did like to do back in the day. I used to chop up music, and I used to do Photoshop speed art, like just fast forwarding the drawing that I did or the designs that I did. During this time, I also during my, I want to say, late 20s to early 30s, my mom had passed away when I was 29. I also had a memory dedication video to her, and then my nephew moved in with me after she passed away. He also passed away. He passed away actually the day that I got the job at the hospital. It was just crazy. I don't know. I think the dedication videos are just some of my background stories that happened in my life. And that's why I made the videos, because these people meant a lot to me. My mom, my nephew, my oldest nephew, my brother. I never met one of my grandma, but my grandma, my mom's mom, she had passed away in 2016, and that I didn't really make a video for her because I didn't really have a lot of pictures of her. but she was a very strong woman. She was all about work. She would call me and say, "You better not be drinking a beer. You better have paid off your car note. You better have paid your bill on time," and all of that. She was old fashioned, and everything I have that's valuable, or anything in my life like that, uh, I give it to her. The work that she did. She used to work at Papa Burger, by the way. She was there for 30 years, I think, or plus. For those that know Papa Burger over there in North Side of Houston. So, yeah, she was a big inspiration. I couldn't believe how people used to get paid 10 cents back then, by the way, and still make it pretty good. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm at the hospital now, but what I do now is I tend to still do designs for people, logos. I'm working on doing my personal business card and putting myself out there. Um, I have two nieces, like I said before, who I'm trying to teach Photoshop to, so they can not depend on guys growing up. They can do their own thing, and it's better for them to learn early from experience, like me, who I love Photoshop. I mean, without Photoshop, life would be so boring and dull. But Photoshop it can do a lot for you, and you don't even have to be a talented artist. You can just be smart. All you gotta do is play with it. I just messed around with it, and that's how I self-taught myself. But I love it. I love it. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, and I'm almost done. By the way, I wanted to talk about why I invested into this podcast equipment. This COVID has brought people. This year in general, 2020 it's been hitting the world crazy differently. It's like, I don't know. I can't believe that it is doing not only just the virus, but just other things at the same time in general. It's just crazy. So whenever my best friend Mario, he's the one who I've known for 28 years, by the way, who I met in elementary, fifth grade. Um, he told me about a proposition. I said, "What is it?" He said, "Podcast." I said, I know what a podcast, I knew what a podcast was, but I just basically said it's like your personal channel. And a lot of people out there wanna be heard in general. Like they want to speak out, and this is your chance. I highly recommend getting into a podcast whenever you have time, because when you post videos and you want to give your story, or you want to inspire other people, or just things like that, I think this is going to be a way to do that. So I highly recommend, for those of you that are interested in knowing what the equipment I'm using, I can put it in the description. Um, but yeah, I recommend having this. He told me about it, so I went all out and I bought equipment. I want to say, for the equipment that I have, there's a cheaper way of doing it, and you don't really need special cameras or anything like that. You can use your phone or whatever for video recording or whatever. But I want to say a good $1,000 for some good equipment, just right off the bat, and that's what I did. I did it because it gives me a voice. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has a story. Everybody has a story, and it'd be nice to share your story and inspire other people, and and lift other people. I mean, I don't like the way I sound on the microphone. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna make that a wall and an impediment for me not to try something new, And I think I really want to thank uh, the virus for letting me invest into this. Now I have another dimension to get into as far as life going forward. Making the logo. I did the logo for the podcast that me and my friend and my cousin are doing called The Root of All Real. And we made a channel for it, but I'm not the one in control of it because my best friend Mario is the host and he takes control of that. So I want to thank you, Mario, for giving me the proposition of investing into the podcast equipment. And by the way, guys, as I'm closing the episode, just want to let y'all know that I'm gonna be doing videos here and there to the people that are interested in learning EKG or heart rhythms in general. I wouldn't mind making a video of PowerPoint just to help you break down how easy EKG can be. I wouldn't mind doing that at all for you guys. And maybe I can start doing videos for that. As far as Photoshop, I wouldn't mind teaching that as well. I mean, I think it's easier being there in person, but there's so much to learn with Photoshop that I really can't just do it in one video. You gotta really invest your time. You really gotta invest, commit your time to something. But anyway, my closing words would be for you guys for this story. This is very personal to me. Sharing my very personal life of growing up and the way I am and this and that. But again, I did this to let you guys know that there's always gonna be hope at the end of the tunnel. Don't ever be comfortable, afraid of change. Always look forward to being the best that you can be. Show your talents. I think your talents can take you so far. Your talents can bring you wealth. Your talents can do so much for you. All you gotta do is search videos and something research the things you like to do. And there's many millions of people out there that are willing to help, believe it or not. I know there's a lot of bad things that go on in life, but there is a lot of good people out there too. So never be afraid of change. Never be afraid of who you are and where you came from. You always have the time to prove it, and the time is now, guys. 2020, and we always look for better days as humans. So those days will come as far as what the virus is doing for people in general, and we will get through this. And that's about it, guys. Just wanted to give a shout out to all my people in the medical field. I love y'all, and everybody that I worked with in the past. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything in general, feel free to ask me. Send me an email. I will post all of that in the description. And thank you guys again for listening. And have a great week and have a 4th of July. And take care.